Welcome to the Global Risk Podcast by Solace Global. In this edition of Regional Flashpoints, we turn to South Africa, where rising anti-migrant sentiment is contributing to protests, vigilante activity, and growing security concerns in several major cities. Recent demonstrations and violent incidents involving foreign nationals have highlighted mounting social and economic tensions against a backdrop of high unemployment and increasing cost of living pressures. To examine what's driving these developments and what they could mean going forward, here's our intelligence analyst, Joshua George.
On the 3rd of May, the Nigerian Foreign Minister said that at least 130 Nigerian citizens in South Africa had requested repatriation to Nigeria. The requests follow escalating anti-migrant protests and a series of violent incidents involving foreign nationals in South Africa. In one case, a Nigerian citizen died from injuries after reportedly being beaten by personnel from the South African National Defence Force on 20th of April. In another case, a Nigerian national was reportedly apprehended on 19th of April after an altercation with the police. His body was later found at Pretoria Central Mortuary. Nigerian officials have demanded a full investigation into both incidents. They have also called on South African authorities to release autopsy reports, case files, and other relevant documentation. The violence has not been limited to Nigerian nationals. 4 Ethiopian citizens have also reportedly been killed in recent weeks, and Ghanaian authorities recently reported that a Ghanaian national had been confronted by vigilante groups in South Africa. The United Nations has also expressed concern over reports of xenophobic attacks, harassment, and intimidation targeting migrants and foreign nationals. These incidents have coincided with a rise in anti-immigration demonstrations. On the 30th of March, an anti-migration march in the Eastern Cape followed the installation of a Nigerian national as an Igbo traditional leader. That protest resulted in the torching of minibus taxis and public infrastructure. The most recent major protests, however, took place on the 29th of April, when hundreds of people marched in Johannesburg against illegal immigration. The demonstration was reportedly organised by March and March, with the support from other anti-migrant groups including Operation Dudula, Action SA and the Patriotic Alliance. Videos shared online appear to show vigilante groups attacking people they believe to be in South Africa illegally. During demonstrations, many businesses have been forced to close, including both locally owned and migrant-owned businesses, amid fears of looting and vandalism. The rise of dedicated anti-migrant groups points to the growing organisation of anti-migrant movements in South Africa. Since 2022, Operation Dudula, meaning to push, has reportedly harassed immigrant traders in Soweto and Johannesburg. At the same time, the Dudula movement emerged as a vigilante organisation targeting foreign nationals believed to be undocumented. March and March is a newer movement. It describes itself as a grassroots citizen movement focused on concerns about undocumented immigration in South Africa and says that it aims to mobilise citizens through peaceful demonstrations and rallies. These developments have also coincided with comments from the Zulu King. In a speech in February, he called for foreigners to leave the country. The remarks echoed a 2015 speech by the then Zulu King, who called for foreigners to pack their bags and leave. The 2015 speech was followed by a wave of anti-migrant violence, which resulted in 7 deaths as well as the looting and burning of foreign-owned shops. Migrants make up just under 4% of South Africa's population, around 2.4 million people. Most migrants come from neighbouring countries, including Lesotho, Zimbabwe and Mozambique. Anti-migrant groups claim that South Africa also has between 3 and 5 million undocumented migrants, although those figures are contested. A key driver of anti-migrant sentiments is South Africa's high unemployment rate, which remains above 30%. Anti-migrant groups have used this economic pressure to frame migrants as direct competitors for jobs, housing, informal trading space and state resources. Recent demonstrations have focused on demands for tougher immigration enforcement, deportations and the exclusion of undocumented migrants from jobs and public services. These tensions have highly likely been exacerbated by worsening economic instability linked to the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. On the 6th of May, petrol prices rose by approximately 20 US cents per litre, while diesel increased by around 38 US cents per litre. These were among the largest price adjustments in recent history. As the cost of living rises and anti-migrant pressure groups become more prominent, further demonstrations are highly likely in major cities such as Johannesburg and Pretoria, as well as in KwaZulu-Natal and the Eastern Cape. Further targeted vigilante violence against foreign nationals is also highly likely, particularly where victims are suspected of being irregular migrants or belong to nationalities associated with large migrant communities in South Africa.
That concludes this episode of Regional Flashpoints on the Global Risk Podcast. These updates form part of our Global Intelligence subscription, which includes weekly reports, in-depth briefings, and live Q&A sessions with our experts. To learn more, visit solaceglobal.com. Thank you for listening.